Welcome back to Izuna for Corona. This is Final Fantasy V. Right now I have all white mages. This is the battle to unlock red mage, so I'll have to have a mix of red and white mages. But the big hurdle in front of me is Galura, as you can see. We are going to start with armor on everybody. Ferris right now has the elf cape. Ferris also has the flail. So Ferris is the one who is going to be doing all of my big damage. Lena has the healing staff, so she's going to be doing most of my healing. And then Izuna, or Bartz, and then Galuf there are pretty much there to kind of wipe up the mess. They're going to be casting some cure spells as needed, trying to conserve their MP. Of course, Lena doesn't have access to Cure 2 all, but she does have access to single targeting Cure 2. So here is Ferris starting to do some damage with the flail. She will pretty much be the only character who is doing the attacking, because Galura has a counterattack programmed into its routine, so that if it gets any physical damage, it will counterattack. Let's take a look at the stats for Galura here. It's got 1140 left, I think. So I think that's what that read. There's really not much that Galuf can do right now. I'm just going to let Lena continue to heal. She'll just heal the characters as they need it. And expect that to happen quite a bit. Ferris is going to be missing about 1/4 of every attack that she takes. Once Galura gets below a certain level of hit points, Galura will have 2 counterattacks. That is the elf cape coming out for Ferris. So because Ferris is the one holding the weapon, I really wanted to keep her alive. So you can see that the elf cape has a 33% chance to dodge incoming attacks. So when you see her flash that cape, you know that she's in good shape, because she just blocked an incoming attack. I'm going to have my other characters defend, because the defend command will stack with, as you can see, doing 11 or 12 damage. It will stack with both the back row penalty, and it will also stack with the protect spell, or the armor spell. So right now, Galura is going to be doing very little damage to us at all, even when he's counterattacking. The only one who is a little bit vulnerable is Ferris, who can't do the defend command because Ferris is the one who's on offense right now. But Galura will start counterattacking a lot more frequently once he's down below 800, I think, HP. So another, 5 or 6 successful attacks from Ferris, and we're likely going to be eating some more damage. And of course, Ferris can do some decent damage if she needs to. She can do it if she needs to. I am going to have us go up to full health here with Lena. This will leave Lena a little bit exposed, but that should get everybody back up to full health. And of course, Lena's the one who takes a hit. We had 2 other characters defending, but Lena takes the hit. That happens sometimes. So here's where you can start getting into a little bit of a damage deficit, is if you get a little bit low, and then you can't defend anymore. You have to start burning actions, doing things like casting Cure. And once you have to start burning actions, casting Cure, you can't have characters defending. You're going to take more damage coming in. And Galura has yet to use the Tusk ability. That's kind of its most dangerous ability. Tusk is a physical attack that doesn't do tons and tons of damage by itself, but it puts you into what we call a hit point leak status. So your hit points start gradually ticking down, tick, 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 one at a time. So it means that a physical attack that does like 11 damage when it is dealt, can end up doing like 70 damage by the time you're out of HP leak status. So there is a double counterattack right there. So you saw that he did 2 attacks back to back without anything going between them. So just attack. That was just a single attack. And Ferris luckily dodged it. And here comes the counter. And there's Rush. So Rush is the one that is what we need to look out for, because you can see Galuf's hit points are ticking down. And if I just leave that, he's going to go way down. He's still going to be in leak status, but we're going to try our best to keep him as close to full health as we can. And so an attack from the healing staff there from Lena will help bring him back up. But you can see he's still not finished ticking down. So we've healed him a couple times, and he's still going to end up below 100 hit points here pretty soon. And there's Galuf. Yeah, that was a check for a double attack. He's going to cast Cure 1 on himself. So you can see if I let it go, he would be dead right now. He'd be gone, sadly. And so he's still ticking down. So every single rush that we eat is going to be kind of a critical moment in the battle. While he's still ticking down. All right. That was a really good attack. Okay, so it was just a double counter from Galura. Not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. We can go back to defending. So that was just his regularly scheduled attack. He can do 2 attacks when we hit him with the with the flail there. So he checked for a second one, but did not do a second one right there. That's just his regular attack. You can tell because you can tell by watching the ATB bar when something is happening in response and when something is just a coming up in the routine. So that miss means that we get a round off of counterattacks, which is nice. That's a positive thing. That's a good thing. I'm gonna have her heal Galuf back up, and I might have Bart's get everybody back up. This might be a little bit silly, but I'd like to keep us all closer to that 180 mark than the 140 mark. But right now I have 3 characters who are not defending right now, and I'm about to take 2 counterattacks. There's one. Okay, the other one checked but didn't happen, so actually that lined up really nicely. And we're getting great luck. I hate to jinx it right now, but we're getting pretty nice luck. We've only gotten 1 rush so far, and Ferris has dodged a pretty decent number of attacks with her Elf Cape. So that's been really, really a positive note for these white mages, where things can get dicey really fast. If you lose control of this battle, if you lose the plot and start to get careless and start to get sloppy, this battle can be over in just a couple of rounds. If you start to get sloppy and not pay attention, or just start like holding the A button and just start letting it go, this battle can get out of hand for you fast. Now, luckily, the armor status, or the protect status, that hangs around the whole battle. That will hang around the whole time. So there was 1 counterattack. The second one was his regular attack. You could see the ATB pretty clearly there, showed that he did 1 counterattack and then 1 regular. So again, we've been getting good luck not eating a lot of double counters. So there was a double counter, but Ferris dodged the second one. There's his regular attack. And if this looks like it's easy, I would say that, yeah, the danger generally can be pretty low with this battle, but I wouldn't say it's easy because you have to pretty carefully watch your hit points and manage the ATB. This battle can be trickier than it looks with a party like this that's kind of underpowered. Galura can be a pretty serious roadblock for a lot of parties. All right, there's a rush, and there's a regular attack. So Ferris is in deep trouble right here. Ferris is in currently deep trouble. We're going to have a cure spell right there just to bump her back up. And then that's just in case that Galura has another attack pop up. Because without that, she would be pretty low. That will get her back up to full. I'm going to just have Lena spend her next attack healing Ferris up again. That miss is actually pretty well timed because this is a good time to get everybody back up and get Ferris protected again. Ferris is my only damage dealer. And you cannot switch the weapons of a dead character. You can't switch it, so I'd have to revive her with a Phoenix down before switching a weapon out. I'm going to have Bart's go just back to defending. That was really a bad damage roll, and there's another rush. So, and then another attack. The second attack is not a big deal, but the rush is the one that's the big deal. The rush is the big deal. Because you can see, even while we're in menus, the HP leak still continues down. And the actions weren't stacked too well there. If Lena had gotten the turn immediately, it would have actually been a lot nicer than having to have Galuf use a cure on himself and then have Lena do it. Okay, there was an okay attack. All right, we're doing okay. And Lena will get a turn now, so she can bring Galuf back up, because that cure 2 is more than our total hit points. So I could have let him go all the way down to any level, and that would restore him back up to full. All right, let's get some attacks and no rushes here. Okay, 2 attacks, that's fine. That third attack is a regular, and looks like we are out of the rush danger here. So let's, I'm going to use a Cure All spell instead of the Heal Staff to get everybody back up closer to that 180 mark. Perfect. And you do spend the majority of the battle in this mode with Galura, unfortunately. You spend more than half the fight with Galura in this status here. Just for the sake of curiosity, let's go ahead and see for the viewers at home. 195. All right, so we're doing pretty well. Actually, that's farther along than I thought we were. 195 left. So I still have about four or five more attacks, and that's attacks that land, mind you. It's not just not 4 or 5 more rounds. I've got to get the attacks to actually stick on Galura. And they've got to be decent damage rolls. Okay, there's one. Okay, second attack. Perfect time for a cure-all. But we are in the most threatening part of Galura's routine right now. So if we can handle this, which we have been most of this fight, we are all but certain to get that water crystal, and then we'll unlock Red Mage. So what happens next in the Fiesta is when you have access to 2 jobs, you can have any combination of characters using those 2 jobs. So I can have 3 red mages and 1 white mage, or I can have 2 and 2, or I can have 3 whites and 1 red. When you unlock the next job, again, you have to have 1 of each of the jobs represented in your party, at least. So you will have 2 of something. So you kind of want to plan out how you want your characters to be earning their ability points, so that they're earning the AP on jobs that have more useful abilities that you can switch to other jobs. So having them all pick up a lot of levels in white is actually pretty helpful, because I can put that on a bard and have it be useful. I can put that on the chemist and have it be useful. So I am glad that in the early part of the game I was able to pick up white level 3 or white level 4 on some of these characters with some of the grinding that I've had to do just to survive these boss fights. That had the extra benefit of leveling up my white magic ability. So I'll be able to move over and have... That also will transfer a magic stat, so your magic power will be stronger because you've transferred a higher level magic ability over. So it actually helps your stats as well. But after this fight, I will have to have a red mage somewhere in the party. So I'll decide how I want to have that dispersed. Of course, the next few fights, having access to some offensive black magic will be handy, so that will be nice once I have that unlocked. Okay, there goes Galura. So this battle is about as long as the Magissa and Forza fight, and the strategy is quite similar. I don't have access to the mute spell to slow any part of it down, but Galura is like a Forza, but a lot stronger. So this is going to get us access to... There's white level 4 for Ferris, by the way. This will give us access to that red mage job. So the next boss battles you see, I'll have a lot more offensive output and a lot more versatility as this run goes on. If you want to see how you can help on Isuna for Corona, do check out the link that is in the description to this video. You can play your own run, or you can feel free to make a donation on behalf of this organization for Doctors Without Borders USA. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and we will see you next time.